openclaw killed Claude Code, but I thought Claude Code just killed openclaw. Bro, that was like 2 hours ago. You need to be spending more time on X. At this point, it's an absolute battle of the century between Claude Code and openclaw, but here's the breakdown between features of openclaw and Claude Code and which one you should be using. The first thing to note is that the model under the hood of both tools is very important, and Opus 4.6 is by far the best model for these types of agentic tasks, especially browser automation. If that's important to you and you want to keep your costs lower, you should be using Claude Code because you can use it on their max plan. Second thing to note is with Claude Code's new looping feature, now both agents can actually have that kind of autonomous working where they wake up throughout the day and do tasks for you, although it takes more hacking with Claude Code to actually get that functionality, whereas openclaw has it out of the box. The third thing is security and harness reliability. openclaw is kind of a hacked together open source project, and while it works very well, if you've ever used openclaw, you know that the gateway crashes very often and there's a ton of security issues. Claude Code is a harness and its connections to Anthropic models are much more secure and all go through Anthropic servers, which is allegedly secure. In terms of ease of use, openclaw is by far the winner as it's more of a plug and play thing for less technical people, whereas Claude Code, to get the same functionality as you have in openclaw, you need to do a little bit of technical hacking even though you can do it. Another important thing is memory, and openclaw still wins in this category as it has a vectorization of all of its memory files, which allows for openclaw to do semantic search on its memories to search based on meaning through all of its memory files, whereas Claude Code still has a markdown and file-based and grep-based memory system, which is a little less advanced. The last thing is a little more nuanced, but this is the ecosystem that surrounds both of these tools. In my opinion, Claude Code is still a little bit behind openclaw in terms of capability out of the box, even though you can hack it to be even more capable than openclaw, but the ecosystem of Claude Code has a way brighter future than that of openclaw because Claude Code has always been the pioneer in this space and literally was the basis for the creation of openclaw. If you're interested in learning the ins and outs of both tools, I've released full video courses on both tools, openclaw and Claude Code, as well as a full video course on how to turn Claude Code into the capabilities of openclaw in my school community. So if you're interested in that, click the link in my bio.